been 2.5 years not knowing what's happening, and now that this has started, it's wonderful.
I live in Kaipo in a renting house. I lost my house from first earthquake.
I lived in the house just behind here for 34 years.
I've been in Kaipo all my life. I lived all my life here.
To these 10 properties owners, it's going to give them some, at this moment it's something to look forward to.
This is the first land trial in Christchurch. These people have been out of their homes for nearly 3 years, many of them. Kaiapoi was hit probably the worst in the first earthquake, so many of us refer back to the February 2011. These people have potentially been out since September 2010.
This is an area of land which local people have been talking about for some time, and they've been asking what's going to happen in Fuller Street.
Tower Insurance has got a customer in the trial with EQC, and we're very happy to support this. I think it gives people a really good understanding of what's involved in the land remediation and what's going to be required moving forward.
Here on the Fuller Street project, the ground conditions are sandy silt type materials which are prone to liquefaction. Talking with the residents here, there's quite a lot of sand boils and springs and things after the earthquakes which caused them some distress and resulted in quite a lot of damage to their houses.
Gravel raft was one of 4 options really that we thought would be quite feasible here.
It's basically using excavators to dig a hole and trucks and trailers to import gravel in and backfill the hole using conventional earth-moving equipment.
Well, the site is approximately 75 metres long by 35 metres wide. We are digging down 2.1 metres, so we're excavating in total just over 5,000 cubic metres of material.
What this site here gives us the opportunity to do is actually try it out in a residential setting, because on a single site basis it can be quite hard to make a 2 metre deep hole stand up and not have the next door neighbours' houses fall into it. So on a site like this where we've got 10 houses together, it actually makes a lot of sense.
The initial hardfill raft design for the 2 metre thick raft had 2 layers of this kind of plastic mesh that we call geogrid in the bottom metre. That geogrid just helps with compaction of those bottom layers, and it also helps with kind of toughness and performance of the raft later on during earthquakes. We found some very soft silt at the bottom of the excavation, so the design was modified slightly. What we did is excavated just down an extra 100 mil, and we put down a layer of geotextile which stops the silt migrating up into the hard fill when we get liquefaction in the future. Instead of just the normal 65 mil hard fill, we imported enough crushed concrete to get a 300 mil layer. Once you've got 300 mil of that down, that actually binds together really well and locks in place quite well. And when we put our first 200 mil layer of hard fill on top of the crushed concrete, we actually got really good compaction. So we put 1 layer of geogrid on top of that first hard fill layer, and we found that because we were getting such good compaction, we decided to remove the 2nd layer of geogrid from the design.
The main challenge so far has been controlling the stormwater.
Pretty much had a quite significant rainfall once a week, enough to fill up our excavation water, resulting in us to spend 2 or 3 days having to pump it out dry, and then a couple of days to dry it out. We get a couple of days of good production, and another rainstorm comes, so it's been very frustrating. But the good news is the residents have been keeping an eye on us, and I think they can see that we've been battling away and continuing to do a good job and go forwards.
Completed the 3rd and final stage of the Fuller Street project. Very gratifying to finally get that job wrapped up, and extremely gratifying and fulfilling to see the looks on the residents' faces when we finally handed back this completed site.
Today is quite a milestone in the short history of this land repair pilot and the ground improvement trials. We've all gathered to mark the handover of the first large project completion. It's a new beginning for these residents. It's really a token of our appreciation of their patience. We wanted to offer each resident a kowhai to mark the occasion, and hopefully there'll be keen gardeners among them, and it'll help get these new gardens on track.
I just see it as a really important process of getting well again. Because an earthquake's not only about the cracks and the liquefaction and the damage that it does to your home, there's damage up here as well. And it doesn't matter what age you are. So I think all this is really positive. Good on EQC and insurance companies.